What's up guys, welcome back to another episode of Guitar Talk Fractal Fun with me, Dan. Today I am changing things up in my live tone, my live preset. For the last year and a half I've been using a preset that I built that was based around a Fender amp, and it's been good, but you know, time for a change, and I wanted something a little bit more maybe martially, I guess, something with a little bit more grip behind it. We'll experiment and find out, but I play in a band called Autumn Red, which our original music is like a mix of modern country, southern rock, pop elements, all that kind of stuff, all blended in together. And live, we do a few covers as well. I've done a couple of gigs where they've said, hey, can you play mostly covers? So I need a pretty versatile preset that's going to cover loads of ground, but that's going to do our original music justice as well. And as I said, I've been using a Fender style preset for the last year and a half, and it's been good. I've never been 100% happy with it, so why not change things up, as I said. Now, I'm gonna do this using my PRS hollow body. The reason for that is because it's got the acoustic pickup on here as well. Now, this guitar lives on stage. I play it for some songs. The singer in the band plays it for some songs. It's there if G, the other guitarist, needs to play it. It's an awesome tool, but it will be a great guitar for dialing in this tone. So let's dive into the screen now, and we can see we've got an empty preset set up. Let's call it Autumn Red 24, because we're in 2024. And hit save there. Now let's put together the building blocks of what we'll need. So we need an input 1. Obviously the guitar's got 2 inputs, so we'll also need an input 2. We'll need output 1 and we'll need output 2. So to give you some background on what's going on with my preset, I go directly to the PA system, or I go to an FR if I'm not going through the PA, so I don't need to worry about power amps and on-stage cabs, all that kind of stuff. Because I am only plugged into my FR, which is over there behind me, a Friedman FR, I'm branching this off. So input 1 is my electric signal, input 2 is my acoustic signal, but so I can hear it and so you guys can hear it where I'm recording it. I'll get rid of this at the end, but it will go to a separate channel on the PA. Now, I want an amp, I want a cab, I'm going to need another cab there. I'm pretty basic when it comes to what I need, so I'm going to need a pitch block. I will explain that in a bit. I'm going to want some reverb, I'm going to want some delay, and I'm going to want a second reverb, and I will want an EQ of some sort to go here, and I might want a drive pedal. So that is pretty much everything that I think I'll need. I might throw in a couple of extra goodies at the end, but let's join this up. So for those of you who aren't familiar with what I'm doing, I'm putting the time-based effects running parallel to the main signal. So I've got the main signal unaffected going straight through to the output, and then with these time-based effects I can blend in as much as I want on the side of it as well. So let's turn that off for now. We'll deal with that in a minute. And let's start with, I know scene number 4 on my setup is always acoustic. I can tell that straight away because it's already set the inputs for me. So input 1, there is now no sound going through input 1, that is muted. Input 2 is live, so that is, it's just going to be my acoustics. So it should sound pretty nasty. So it's because I'm going for a 1x4 cab. I picked up a while ago, if I go into the user bank of this, an IR of a Larive. So that is where someone's mic'd up a Larive and they've made an impulse response out of it. So that is now layered on top of my piezo, which just gives an extra depth to my acoustic sound. Now there's loads of low end in there. So let's scoop loads of that out because we just don't need it. I'll give a little bit of a boost to the low mids, a little bit of a boost to some high end. That is pretty much the acoustic tone done. Large hall reverb, let's go for something, I prefer a plate, so let's go for a medium plate. Kill dry. Nice. Acoustic tone is sorted. So we can get rid of that link now. I'm not worried about the level of that because it's going to go to its own channel on the PA system. So obviously on the actual PA you can control the level. But in terms of EQ, I've already taken out loads of the low end. The stuff that's going to get this mixed in with the bass and the low drums and all that stuff that's going to make this get lost in a mix and that's going to interfere with all the other stuff that lives in the low end. So if we're doing our own sound, I don't need to worry about messing with the EQ and plugging straight into a desk. If there's a sound engineer at a gig that just isn't too fussed, then I've done a lot of the work for him. So as I said, that takes care of the acoustic channels. So on to the electric side of things. Now let's have a look at what we've got. I'm going to start with the cab. We're going to go for Dyna cabs. And what should we use? Let's go for a Friedman with greenbacks. I'm going to use both cabs. An SM57 style mic around here. And a ribbon mic in the center. And again, just to get rid of all that kind of low end stuff that I just don't need in my guitar tone, I'm going to put a low cut of 150 Hertz on both sides. And a high cut of 9,000. So that's going to get rid of all the rumbliness that you don't even hear. That gets you muddied in with all of the, like if you've got a keyboard player playing low notes, bass guitar, kick drum, low vocal, all that stuff. Guitars is a mid-range instrument, so all that low end stuff that you can't even hear, that gives you ear fatigue, that when you're playing, this is something I've said before, when I used to play like valve amps live in pubs and stuff, even though they weren't that loud, you'd get people sort of wincing and going, oh, can you turn it down a little bit? And I'm sure that's because of all of those frequencies that you can't even hear that are just battering your ears. Ever since I went fractal and I did stuff where I'm cutting out all that low end and all that high end stuff that you just don't need, I play louder these days and people comment about how good the tone is, and you don't get anyone saying, oh, can you turn it down a little bit, all that kind of stuff. So this is something that I recommend doing if you are dialing in your own tones. Is just take out all of that high-end stuff and low-end stuff that you just don't even hear. Right, so scene 1 is clean. We'll hit save again there. Now, for my clean tone, this is, I do plan on using clean, but this is a channel which I don't plan on being on that much. And I'll explain why in a second. So I'm going to go for a 65 basement because I just want a really, really clean tone. Let's see how that sounds. That'll do. So the purpose of this is if I really do want a clean tone that is crystal clear clean, I can switch to this preset, but I plan on living for the most part on scene number 2, which I will call Crunch. And we want the same cabs, but amp wise, I want something, as I said, a little bit more martially. So let's have a look at. The idea with this is that it will be kind of like a dual sound. So if I really needed to, if I needed to live on one channel for the entire gig, which wouldn't be ideal, but if I had to live on one channel for the entire gig, it would be this channel. So if I play hard, it's going to dirty up. If I play soft, if I roll my volume down, it's going to clean up. And if I play normally, it's just going to give a nice crunchy tone. So let's take a listen to something, the Brit 800 mod. Let's see how that sounds. Oh, don't want those on. It's okay. Let's take a look at a JM45. Let's take a listen to this. I like that. That is exactly what I am after. Dig in, it dirties up really well. Play softly, let's put it in the middle position. Just a big, nice, clean sound with a little bit of bite. Roll the volume off. Cleans up really well. That is exactly what I mean. I'm gonna just increase the gain ever so slightly. That's exactly what I want, is something that is just a dual tone. So if I've got live on that channel for the entire gig, I can get away with so much. Let's save that. So channel 1, clean. There's a bit of a volume difference there, so we will go into the scenes. We'll look at this in a little bit more detail in a bit. That's absolutely fine now, and we will take that one down a little bit as well. So just looking at the pitch block, what we've got is a couple of songs in the set that we play in the cover section are tuned down half a step. Now, so I don't have to change guitar if I don't want to. I've got enough guitars I can tune one down, but I can get away with just setting this virtual capo and turning on. So I've got that assigned to a foot switch, so if I want to, I can just turn that on and be down half a step without having to change guitar. That's what it's there for. It's off most of the time. See and ignore is on, so that if I'm switching between different sounds on the pedal, it will just stay on or off depending on where I've got it set. So that is all good there. Let's make sure it stays off. Okay, now let's copy this over to scene number 3. Scene number 3, we're gonna name this Crunchier, and we're gonna do something very simple. We're gonna pick an overdrive, go for that one, based on the JHS Morning Glory, one of my favorite overdrive pedals in the world. Just so if I want to take it beyond that crunchy tone that I've got, it's there. Let's check the levels. Perfect. So those are my main sounds. Clean, my main tone, which is the crunch channel, and then my even crunchier channel should I need it on scene number 3. So for my lead tones, I've got the pedal set, so if I hold down one pedal, it switches to number 5. If I hold down another, it switches to 6. So these are my 3 lead tones. So I don't want an ultra clean lead tone. I don't use that in any of the songs that we play, so I will set, let's copy this over to scene number 5. And number 3, Where are we? And number 3, we are going to copy over to number 6. And number 7, we're going to do something else with, but this should be, so crunch, solo. Now where I've not changed any of these volumes, there should be a healthy volume boost. So we'll call that crunchier solo. Oh, there we go. Perfect. So big old volume boost there. That's about 6 dB. That should be plenty. Now let's sort out the reverb. Let's go for London plate reverb. Let's turn that on. Just to give a little bit of life to it, and then delay. I do like having delay on pretty much all the time, but just kind of quietly so we set it around there. So I like having my delay so that when I'm playing, if I'm playing chords and all that kind of stuff, you can't really hear it, but it just gives a nice little trail off at the end so you just don't get a dead stop. So that is my core tone pretty much set. And then if we go to so I want this on for all of these. And then for my lead tones, I want to dial it up a little bit. Let's go to channel B, and again, Stereo Mind Guy, Kill Dry. Let's take that up to about there. Nice, and let's do the same for that one, channel B. Right, I'm back. Sorry, I had to reset the camera, it ran out of time. So, scene number 7, I'm going to do something a little bit different for. I know I said I used it a couple of weeks ago and it was just over the top, but there's a couple of songs where I've got to just play an extendedly long outro solo and I just don't even want to think about it. I just want over the top. So scene number 7, I've copied over the solo channel. Let's turn that off, and on amp, let's go to, that would be a good choice, but Soldano, where are you? There. Let's crank the gain, take out some bass, add some mids, add some treble, bring in some depth, and see what it does. Yes, that is perfect. That is exactly what I want. I am even going to call that 80s solo. I might not use it often, I might not use it at all, but it is there if I want it. Now for scene number 8, let's go in and we'll copy scene number 2 to scene number 8. And on scene number 8, I want to put in one of these. Let's see how that sounds. Just because you never know when you're going to want a classic lo-fi sound. One of our singles, Like Fire, does have a lo-fi intro. So scene number 8, if I want it, I've got a lo-fi sound there. Take out everything except the mids and you get that kind of telephony style effect. Let's put in a little bit more of that, a little bit more of that. Right. So that is pretty much everything that I will need for my live tone, I think. I've got practice on Friday. There might be some tweaking of some volumes that I'll do. But gig is in a couple of weeks' time. I'll see how it goes and maybe I'll report back to you guys and let you know how it went with this preset. Hit me up if you've got any questions. Let me know if you can see that I've done anything wrong or anything that you would suggest. What I will do is the Dynacab stuff is very good at matching frequencies to get rid of any phase issues, but I am a believer that in real life you will never get perfect phase, so that should just bring a little bit more realism into my tone. Nice. I am excited to play with that on Friday. I'm excited to gig with it. Like I said, let me know if you've got any questions. Hit me up at dan@guitargeargiveaway.co.uk. And other than that, I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.